I will request you to ping Amit Pandey. Then you can able to see his screen.
Yeah, I have pinged, but yes, there is some interruption. I think so. Sometime it is showing, sometime it is widescreen.
That is, sir.
Visible.
That is, I think that is, sir, your problem.
Continue visible, sir.
Because everything is visible.
ये कोई इंटरनेट इशू होगा सर, ये ना कोई?
हाँ, yes, you are too much clear.
सर ये हमारा वेरिएशन है, इसमें अभी तो हमने 4 पैरामीटर ऐड किए हैं, और इसमें आप 16 से 18 पैरामीटर भी ऐड कर सकते हैं, और उसका डेटा आप इजीली किसी भी फॉर्मेट में ले सकते हैं। जैसे कि हमारे पास काफी वेरिएशन है, हमारे पास पूरा सेटअप है सर, ये आप देख रहे हो, ये पूरा सेटअप है वेरिएशन का हमारा। ये हमारे सेंसर्स पड़े हैं, हमारा एक्सटेंशन है, ये हमारे सेंसर है सर। ऐसे ही हमारे पास और भी डेटा लॉगर हैं, जैसे कि हमारे साथ एलईडी डिस्प्ले भी है। जैसे कि हमारा जो वेदर स्टेशन है ना, तो वेदर स्टेशन को हम ये आउटडोर डिस्प्ले में शो कर सकते हैं सर। जैसे कि ये देख रहे हो सर आप,
सर ये साइज देखो जी ना
तो जैसे हमारा वो जो वेदर स्टेशन था हमारा, उसका डेटा बिना किसी वायर के, बिना किसी उसके यहाँ पर शो हो रहा है सर, ये आप देख रहे हो। टेम्परेचर, ह्यूमिडिटी, रेन,
नहीं वन देखो जी ना।
I will request all other participants, please mute your mic.
सर ऐसे ही हमारे पास और भी डेटा लॉगर है सर, जैसे कि आप ये देख रहे हो, ग्रेन मॉइस्चर मीटर, हमारे माइनर डेटा लॉगर भी है सर। ये देखो सर, एयर क्वालिटी मॉनिटर विंडोज है, एयर क्वालिटी के सेंसर्स, उनका डाटा वैसे देख सकते हो सर, ऐसे भी आप डाटा देख सकते हो उसका। जैसे कि आपका जो हमारा वेदर स्टेशन था, उस वेदर स्टेशन का आप डाटा यहाँ देख सकते हो। अभी यहाँ प्लग नहीं हुआ है तो ऑन नहीं दिखा रहा है, ऐसी डेटा शो होएगा इस पे।
ये जस्ट स्टेटस शो करता है
हम ये लैन के लिए है। जैसे कि आप अगर लैन से कनेक्ट है ना आपके लोकल सर्वर पे, जैसे आप अपने लोकल सर्वर पे डेटा देखना चाहते हो, जैसे कि आपने एक वेरिएशन इंस्टॉल कर दिया और हमारा वेरिएशन आपके लोकल सर्वर से कनेक्ट हो गया, तो आप अपने किसी भी सिस्टम पे जाके इसका डेटा शो कर सकते हो। और ये सर मैम क्या लाइव रीडिंग है ये बिल्कुल।
एयर क्वालिटी क्या है? एयर क्वालिटी
सर AWS है, वेरिएशन का है। जैसे कि अपने यहाँ टेम्परेचर, या आप ये देख रहे हो ऑप्शन, टेम्परेचर, ह्यूमिडिटी, विंड स्पीड, विंड डायरेक्शन, रेनफॉल। अगर आप इसमें क्या होता है, जैसे कि आपके 4-5 वेरिएशन है, जैसे आपने 4-5 वेरिएशन अलग अलग लोकेशन पे लगा दिया आपने अपनी कंपनी में या अपने साइट पे, तो आप उसको एक डैशबोर्ड पे देखना चाहते हो, तो इसमें क्या है, आप इसमें ऐड कर सकते हो। जैसे आपने एक वेरिएशन का डेटा हो गया, नीचे दूसरे वेरिएशन का हो गया, नीचे तीसरे वेरिएशन हो गया, अब इसमें जितने मर्जी पैरामीटर ऐड कर सकते हो और ये लाइव रीडिंग शो करता है। इसमें हम अगर रिपोर्ट डाउनलोड करना चाहे तो रिपोर्ट आएगी, एनालिसिस आएगी, ऐसे सबके पैरामीटर शो होंगे, नीचे ग्राफ शो होगा।
दिस इज वेब एप्लीकेशन एक्चुअली।
यस मैम, हमारे पास एक फोन एप्लीकेशन भी है। ये तो हमारा मैम लोकल सर्वर हो गया। जैसे कि आप
एक्चुअली आईपी एड्रेस से तुमने सारे लैंड से कनेक्टेड किए सब।
यस मैम, हमने आपके लोकल सर्वर पे कनेक्ट कर दिया, आप इजीली डेटा देख सकते हो। और हमारे
ओके।
पास ये भी ऑप्शन है कि जैसे कि आप अपने फील्ड पे आप जाते ही नहीं हो, जैसे कि आप 1 मिनट नहीं जाते हो, 2 मिनट नहीं जाते हो, हमारा सिस्टम लगा हुआ है, तो आप कैसे डेटा देख सकते हो? तो उसके लिए हमारे फोन एप्लीकेशन भी है। तो आप क्लाउड रीडर जाता है, वो क्लाउड को आपको एक यूजर नेम पासवर्ड मिलेगा, उस क्लाउड से आप आपका मतलब जितने मर्जी यूजर हो डेटा देख सकते हो आप। मैं
ओके।
फोन एप्लीकेशन भी दिखाऊंगा आपको, 2 मिनट। फोन एप्लीकेशन, फोन मैम, फोन एप्लीकेशन में भी ऐसी डेटा शो होएगा आपका ना। और मैम ये आप अगर आप रिपोर्ट डाउनलोड करना चाहते हो ना, तो ये
यस।
एक्सेल फॉर्म में डाउनलोड होता है।
ओके।
जैसे कि आपने आपने 1 ईयर का डेटा चाहिए आपको,
हम्म।
इसमें 1 ईयर 2 ईयर इजिली सेव होता है, तो आप इसमें क्या करोगे, इसमें आप डेटा आपको कब से कब तक चाहिए, यहाँ फॉर्मेट फिल करोगे, अपडेट करके आप यहाँ डाउनलोड कर दोगे।
ओके, रिपोर्ट अकॉर्डिंगली जनरेट किया जा सकता है।
यस मैम। इससे क्या होगा, जैसे कि आपको अपने पिछले 1 ईयर का डेटा चाहिए, आपको कुछ करना नहीं पड़ेगा, आपको सिर्फ यहाँ डेटा फिल करना है और डेटा आपको मिल जाएगा।
ओके।
और ये किस फॉर्म में मिलेगा, ये एक्सेल फॉर्म में मिलेगा।
ओके।
हाँ जी। और
बट
ऐसे ही
एक्सेल
मैम
फॉर्म में
हम,
भी ये रीड ओनली होगा या राइटेबल भी हो सकता है, मतलब रीड ओनली होना चाहिए ये?
मैम हमारे पास रीड ओनली का ऑप्शन भी है और राइट ओनली का भी ऑप्शन है।
ओके।
मैम हमारी मतलब एज पर योर रिक्वायरमेंट आप इसे पीडीएफ फॉर्म में भी डाउनलोड कर सकते हो रिपोर्ट।
हम्म।
और इसमें क्या होगा मैम, अगर आप चाहते हो कि हमें हमें पर डे का चाहिए, हमें पर डे का मिनिमम मैक्सिमम एवरेज चाहिए, तो उसे कैलकुलेट करने में काफ़ी टाइम लग जाता है। तो हम क्या करते हैं इसमें, हम आपको ना कैलकुलेशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको सिर्फ एक डाउनलोड करनी है शीट, और उसमें फील करना है कि आपको पर डे का चाहिए। उसमें आपका क्या आ जाएगा, उसमें आपका पर डे का आ जाएगा, मैक्सिमम आ जाएगा, एवरेज आ जाएगा, मिनिमम आ जाएगा, आपको जितने भी चाहिए। तो उससे काम हमारा इजी हो जाता है। अब इसमें मतलब एक तो ऑनलाइन हो गया, एक मैनुअल हो गया। अगर आप कुछ मैनुअल करना चाहते हो कि आपको डाटा कब कब रिकॉर्ड करना है, क्लियर नहीं दिख रहा आपको, हाँ लाइट चल रही है, इस पे दिखा देता हूँ ना। एक और है, जैसे ये आप चाहते हो कि मैम आपको आधे घंटे पे डाटा सेव करना है इसका, या 1 आवर पे करना है, तो इसमें मैनुअल ऑप्शन भी है। जैसे कि आप बैक प्रेस करते हो कीपैड के थ्रू, ये नॉर्मल कोई भी इजी यूज कर सकता है। इसके बाद हमारा पासवर्ड का ऑप्शन आता है। नॉर्मल मैम,
मीन्स इनपुट के कुछ फील्ड्स दिए हुए हैं एंड हम लोग उसके अकॉर्डिंग इसमें चेंजेस कर सकते हैं।
यस मैम। मतलब काफी फॉर्मेट है मैम इसमें ना, जैसे कि अपने इजीली आप इसे कुछ भी कर सकते हो, मतलब आपको जैसे इजी कुछ भी मिले आप वैसे यूज कर सकते हो। या आप सेंसर देख रहे हो मैम, ये हमारा रेन के सेंसर है, ये हमारा रेन केज है, ये विंड स्पीड, टेम्परेचर, ह्यूमिडिटी। अब हम इसको, आप जैसे कि आप फील्ड में लगाना चाहते हो, तो हम इसकी पोल माउंटिंग करते हैं। अब इसको हम सोलर और बैटरी चलाते हैं, इसके साथ सोलर बैटरी लगाते हैं। और ऐसे ही बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट आए हैं हमारे पास, मैं आपको दिखाना चाहूँगा। ये देख रहे हो आप, हमारा बिल्कुल छोटा डेटा लॉगर। जैसे कि आप एक रूम का टेम्परेचर मेजर करना चाहते हो, या किसी कोल्ड रूम का या हीट चैम्बर का, तो उसके लिए एक छोटा सा डेटा लॉगर है ये। जैसे कि हमने यहाँ लगाया हुआ है, इसका टेम्परेचर है 29.5। ऐसा आप इजीली कैरी भी कर सकते हो इसको। ऐसे हमारे पास ये डेटा लॉगर भी हैं। एक ये डेटा लॉगर मैम, उसके बाद हमारे छोटे डेटा लॉगर भी हैं। उसके बाद ये हमारी, अगर आप आउटडोर में डिस्प्ले करना चाहते हो, जैसे कि हमें डाटा आउटडोर पे दिखाना है बाहर किसी को, तो उसके लिए डिस्प्ले यूज करते हैं हम।
It's a
और
kind of
जैसे ये आप,
display.
हाँ ये मैम देख रहे हो, जैसे कि ये आपका ये, इस पे भी क्या होगा मैम, ये वायरलेस हो जाएंगे ये भी। अगर आप इसको जीपीएस से कनेक्ट करना चाहते हो तो जीपीएस से भी कनेक्ट हो जाएगा। अब जैसे ऑटोमेटिकली डाउनलोड डेटा शो होता रहेगा, जैसे चेंज हो रहा है डेटा, ऑनलाइन डेटा चेंज होता रहेगा। आप सीधे पैरामीटर ऐड कर सकते हो, या आप अपनी कंपनी का नाम लिख सकते हो, वैलिडेशन का डेटा। ये पैरामीटर शो हो रहे हैं, टेम्परेचर, ह्यूमिडिटी, रेन, PM10। देखिए ये डिस्प्ले भी हमारे पास। ऐसे आप में कर सकते हो डेटा।
Means according to our requirement, we can modify this data
Yes ma'am.
to display.
Yes ma'am. Okay, thank you ma'am.
Chandan sir.
Hello. Yeah, tell.
He has done.
Hello?
Sir. Yeah.
Yeah, tell, ma'am. You are telling something.
No, actually he has done with this. He has completed.
Okay.
Sir, unmute. Jayendra sir, unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you. I am telling you, if anyone want to ask something related to your research work, I am doing on this thing, so which type of equipment or which type of particular sensors are helpful for me, then you can ask. They maybe give some suggestion.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Amit ji.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Can I ask the question, sir?
Yeah. Why not?
Sir, actually, sir. Actually, shown they are taking some remote data. My question.
Amit Pandey. Are you here, sir? Amit Pandey, are you here?
Sir, I think he left. He is not.
He left, sir.
Yes.
So what was the question, Ananda?
Yeah, madam. Actually, what is my question? We are also taking some remote data, some WSN, some wireless sensors network, but we are facing the issue to take remotely over the cloud. Our sensor data is collecting, but we are facing the issue to store over the cloud.
Okay.
Means on which platform? How they have taken the means that particular sensors data over the server and over the cloud.
I think what he showed is that he was collecting data with the help of those sensors, and within some time span, and after that those data were shown through web applications, some of the kind of application, and he's about the storage system he didn't explain anything, how he is storing.
Okay, means through some IPs actually, which is a set at the server side. In similar, we need to set that IPs, and through that we can sense it.
Yeah.
Means we are trying, but we are facing the issue. That's why actually I'm asking.
Are you using some kind of database? What is that?
Yes. means actually we have implemented the different types of temperature sensor, humidity, all these parameters we have taken.
Yeah. But for data collection, what you are using actually? I'm just asking about the database.
Currently, we are using some free access of the database over the cloud. Over the cloud, actually, we are storing. But it is asking for some IPs, and I think so. We need to take that data over some IPs, over some, and after that, we need to assign that IPs. I think.
Yeah, and you have to write down some procedure to mention that particular IPs over there to collect those data.
Yes, ma'am.
So did you try this?
Yes, we are trying. We are trying, but we are facing some issue related to this.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you for the answer.
Actually, we are just discussing about this.
Yes. Please.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
प्राची आवाज आ रही है आपकी?
Acha. Myself, Dr. Prachi Vas. I am from ASSMS College of Engineering, Pune. Actually, we are working on one project where I need to know about the sensors which can detect the pesticide or any content like chemical sensors. I wanted to know because I didn't find any type of sensors in market. So can we design it or whether they are available? Can anyone guide us in this regard?
Anybody is here who can answer this question about the chemical sensors? No one is working on chemical sensors, I hope.
Which type of chemical is it? I'm asking about typically the pesticide or steroids that are mixed in milk. So if I want to know about what type of chemical they have mixed in water or any of the liquid or regarding the pesticide, anything. I didn't find any of the sensors. I tried to find it on Google, but I didn't get any information regarding that.
So is there anyone who can answer this? Calorimetric sensor. Someone is writing, yeah. Mr. Syam Prasad has written calorimetric sensor, maybe tried, I think.
Okay, pesticide sensor. Okay, thank you.
Electrochemical sensors. Prachi ma'am?
Yeah, yes ma'am.
You can see the chat box. There are so many answers you will get.
Yes ma'am. I'm copying all the links.
Even one of the best research paper in this topic is suggested by Ayush Kumar Agarwal. It's okay, Ayush sir. We got this link.
Please go ahead. This type of discussion is very much needful in this particular type of program.
Yes, sir. Jayendra sir, I am actually started researching on image processing, image segmentation basically, multi-thresholding. So can I get any help related to this? Because I am using hybridization kind of thing or for the optimum threshold value to get the optimum threshold value. So I need some of the...
Which type of image, your database?
Sir, aerial images. I'm working on aerial images.
Aerial images. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
So you
need
want to,
suggestions because I have started this. Yeah.
you want to segment these on different type of road,
Exactly,
field,
sir.
rivers like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you got the database. What is your database? मतलब, from where?
Right now, I have not collected the data, sir. So I have to just, I had given the task to just work on this, just to try to know about the algorithm being used in this. These are all nature-based, inspired, bio-inspired algorithms I am going to use. So any help or any suggestions, I will.
Nowadays, in few years back, 4 to 5 years back, you have to so many algorithm for this type of segmentation,
Yeah.
or you can say classification. Previously, our work is first we segment the images,
Yes,
then
sir.
we take some features. Feature is nothing but the we have to reduce the size of the image. In
Okay.
feature, we have to reduce the size of the image. We have to want only few features, or according to that feature, we only calculate some particular parameter. But nowadays, these particular things are old because due to deep learning, when deep learning came in existence, then we have this type of feature extraction, segmentation, classification. These all
Mhm.
things is clubbed together, and the
Okay.
task is very easy.
Mhm.
So always go to the deep learning methods for the same. And there are so many deep learning methods also come in existence. And
Okay.
nowadays, the previous thing I have done I want to complete my PhD using some segmentation, segment
Mm-hmm.
some images or to classify some images. This is very difficult because we
Yeah.
have to do a lot of work in this segmentation. There are so many types of segmentation. Very difficult task to segment the image, different type of
Mm-hmm.
image, and feature extraction, which feature I have extracted. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, because previously we have a very, you can say ki just a lack of resources. We have to do same thing on our laptop or computer. But
Yes.
now this thing is a very common. Everyone have, or every institution or every lab have very huge workshop. Sorry, workstation.
Yes.
Or the workstation is also available in cloud. You can also
Mm-hmm.
use that cloud workstation.
Mm-hmm.
So now the size of image or computation time or computation software
Yeah.
or equipment is secondary nowadays. Means
Mm-hmm.
cost is secondary. Nowadays, cost is secondary, and our application or our work, that is value is cost value is secondary. You can say cost value is secondary. How much cost we have to spend on this thing. Only what you output, time is primary. Nowadays, you can say time is primary.
Computational time.
Time is primary. You can complete this particular type of jobs in less time. That is
Okay.
main.
Yeah,
I
means
think
comparatively,
nowadays
comparative to others.
is important.
Yeah.
So, so that deep learning, because in deep learning you want to your execute the deep learning algorithm on your computer or laptop, that is not possible. So for that you want a workstation with a
Uh-huh.
high end GPU. If everything is available, then deep learning the size of data is no matter. You
Okay.
can execute a very large amount of data in very few times. So I suggest you go to the deep learning method, deep learning algorithm for the
Okay, sir.
same. And in deep learning algorithm, data size is 10,000 or 20,000. Size of data, number of data is very common. But in previous case, if our size of data is 10,000 or 20,000, it's very difficult to segment or do something on that particular data set.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to also take the help of cloud for this type of cloud GPU for this type of computation. But first you find the data set because so many sites, the data and the huge amount of data are available.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
First we go through the rigorous, I can say,
Study.
literature survey.
Yeah, that I'm doing, sir. That I'm doing.
Because that due to lack of literature survey, we
Yeah.
have started doing something, and after a few time we know that this particular type of work is already over. Few years back, this type of work is over. So where the need of for PhD, if your publication is very important, when
Yes,
publication,
sir.
I can say publication in SCI journals. That is
Yes, sir.
that is difficult. You can publish a lot of papers in other journal like online journal. You can say in online
Yes, sir.
journal publication is no problem. If any particular university or college they give you a PhD degree on that type of journal, then no problem. You can do anything. But if there is restriction, you have to publish the papers in SCI journals
Yes, sir.
or a Scopus journal, reputed Scopus journal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Scopus journals are also paid or unpaid.
Mm-hmm.
So in paid Scopus journal, this is also very easy, no problem. Either you publish the paper in online journals, and the fees of that journal is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And the same if you want to publish paper in a Scopus journal, actually I don't know the name of that type of journal, but I know there are so many journals, Scopus paid journals. They have to demand the money at 10 to 20,000 rupees.
Okay.
Particular thing. But it is not guaranteed that journal is always in a Scopus category. Maybe at present the same journal is in a Scopus. After 1 year or after a few months, they have out of Scopus because Scopus just reject them because he is not publishing the good papers, so their citation are low. If you publish a good paper, then your citation will be high. Or if your paper citation will be high, so journals also benefited from that.
Yes. Very true, sir.
Things, but what your requirement? If your university gives the degree on the same, then no problem. You can do anything. But if they restrict, I want only SCI journals or reputed Scopus journals, unpaid Scopus journal. So this is something different, difficult. So in that case, you have to go through the rigorous literature review. What type of work is not done. So for the particular thing, for doing anything, any PhD, because in my forum, so many PhD holders and professors are also there. They have more knowledge than me. I am not a senior or everything, no. But I know something also.
Yes.
If you want to publish journal papers in SCI journals, then it is quite difficult. And if you pick a good problem, then no problem, you can do it. But if you pick a good, if you don't pick a good problem or if you work hard, then also it is very difficult to publish paper because they know the reviewer of that journals are very expert on the particular domain. Sometimes luck also favor you, but not always.
Yes, sir, I know.
So first you literature review, you go to the papers related to your area of choice or you want to do research here, and then find the gaps. What are the gaps? What are the drawbacks of that particular types of work? And first collect that work. That is called your research gap. So first you find the research gap कि यहाँ पे क्या gap है, क्या उसने किया है और क्या नहीं किया है. और हर पेपर में जब आप ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे और उसके लिए गैप फाइंड आउट करने के लिए काफी माइन्यूटली पेपर को पढ़ना पड़ता है.
Yes, sir.
किसी भी रिसर्च पेपर को पढ़ने के लिए यहाँ बहुत लोग हैं. आई थिंक मैक्सिमम लोग, ज्यादातर लोग हमारे जो हैं वो पीएचडी नहीं हैं, वो काफी लोग हमसे भी सीनियर हैं. इसलिए मैं करना चाहता हूँ कि उसके लिए पेपर पढ़ने का एक तरीका है कि फर्स्ट यू स्टडी द एब्स्ट्रैक्ट ऑफ दैट पेपर.
Okay.
Then you read conclusion. If you found something related to you is in abstract, then you read conclusion. Abstract and conclusion are almost related. But if you find read abstract and conclusion, then you find yes, this paper is of some of my use, and I want to know about some particular thing or particular method, then that is available in this paper. Then you go through the whole paper. Otherwise, if you pick 10 paper and 2 or 3 paper is only for your use.
Yes,
And
sir.
you leave all the 7 or 8 paper only by reading the abstract and conclusion.
Mhm.
Don't need to study each and paper whole paper, because this is wasting of time. You have to study full paper first to last, and you got and you found nothing is in this paper is related to my work.
सर ट्रूली स्पीकिंग कुछ दिनों से पेपर्स पढ़ती हूँ, फिर मुझे लगता है कि फिर मैं उसी जगह पे आके खड़ी हो गई जहाँ से शुरू की थी।
मतलब पहले आप पेपर को जो है ना अच्छे से पढ़िए, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट और कंक्लूजन, और क्योंकि आप जब डाउनलोड करेंगे ना, आजकल बहुत सारे साइट हैं, आपका एक है SCI हब, और बहुत सारे पेपर डाउनलोड हो जाते हैं उसमें।
हाँ
है ना? आप डाउनलोड तो लोग हजारों पेपर करते हैं, PhD के दरमियान लोग हजारों 500 से 1000 पेपर डाउनलोड करते हैं।
बिल्कुल।
सारे पेपर नहीं पढ़ते हैं। 500 1000 डाउनलोड किए, देखे एक नजर, कुछ तो टाइटल देख के ही लग जाता है कि यार आपने सर्च किया अपना टाइटल में और उसमें आ गया, तो आप उनके डाउनलोड कर देते हैं। पहले डाउनलोड कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद कुछ पेपर तो टाइटल देख के ही वही मेरे काम का नहीं है। हालांकि डाउनलोड करते समय टाइटल देख के डाउनलोड करना चाहिए, और उसके बाद एब्स्ट्रैक्ट पढ़िए और देखिए कि कुछ पेपर में क्या है कि टाइटल तो लिख दिया आपके काम का और एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में कुछ दिखा ही नहीं। कुछ पेपर में ऐसे होते हैं कि एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में भी बहुत लंबा चौड़ा दे दिया और फिर लेकिन उसके बॉडी में कुछ नहीं है। तो डाउनलोड
I'm using Mendeley and I'm organizing all the research paper about
काफी अच्छा जो है आज की डेट में, और वो आपके काम भी, क्योंकि रेफरेंस मैनेजमेंट जो है, जब आप PhD थीसिस करते हैं, रेफरेंस क्या कोई आए क्या एडवांस टेक से अगर कोई प्रेजेंट होंगे तो भाई प्लीज इंटरप्ट मी। अभी तक सारा सेशन सही चल रहा था, देखिए अब हम एक कंपनी को पकड़े और कंपनी वाले जो है सर उनका भी ऐसा एंगेजमेंट अचानक आ जाता है कि क्या करें वो लोग भी। तो उसमें क्या होता है ना कि आप कोई भी रेफरेंस, एक जो मैनेजर है उसको आपको लिखना पड़ेगा। पहले हम लोग इंड नोट यूज करते थे वर्ड में, रेफरेंस मैनेजर नहीं यूज करने से क्या है ना कि जब थीसिस राइटिंग के समय बहुत मुश्किल होती है।
बिल्कुल।
इन थीसिस यू हैव टू एटलीस्ट एक स्टैंडर्ड माना जाता है कि 150 पेपर्स होते हैं, 150 से 200 पेपर जो है रेफरेंस में होने चाहिए। अब उसको मैनेज करना, कभी एक पेपर माइनस कर दिया कि नहीं भाई सुपरवाइजर बोलेंगे इसको हटा दो, इसको 2 ऐड कर दो, और पर्टिकुलर पिच ऐड होगा तो अपने जगह पे ऐड होगा। पूरा रेफरेंस जो आपका 10 नंबर है 11 नंबर हो गया, 50 नंबर हो गया, 51 नंबर हो गया। अब हर जगह चेंज करना मैनुअली वो पॉसिबल नहीं है। तो स्टार्टिंग से ही लोग कोई ना कोई एक रेफरेंस मैनेजर, मेंडले है, इंडनोट है, हम लोग तो इंडनोट यूज किए थे वर्ड में।
मेंडले, जोरैटो, इन सब से मैं देख रही हूँ साइटेशन वगैरह में भी दिक्कत नहीं आती है।
हाँ, साइटेशन मैंने कहा नहीं काफी अच्छा है। तो उसको पहले आदमी को आप कह जैसे गायधनी सर ने एक जो स्टोरी सुनाया था, स्टोरी सही में मेरे लिए भी काफी रिमेम्बरेबल रहेगा कि भाई आप सिर्फ काटते चले गए नहीं होगा। आप 1 घंटा काटिए और सोचिए कि थोड़ा सा, भाई आप जब रुकिएगा, चाय पीजिएगा, रिलैक्स होइएगा, तभी सोच सकते हैं। काम करते हैं, कभी कभी आप ऑफिस में काम कर रहे हैं और आप कुछ सोच रहे हैं, लेकिन दूसरे लोग क्या करेंगे, तुम तो कुछ काम करते हैं, तुम जब देखते हैं तुम खाली सोचते रहते हो, बैठे रहते हो। लेकिन बीच में रिलैक्स होना, इसलिए बोलता है ना अच्छे अच्छे कंपनीज में कैंटीन होते हैं। क्यों कैंटीन होते हैं? ताकि आप जाइए वहाँ चाय पीजिएगा, तो थोड़ा सा लोगों से 5 लोगों से बात कीजिएगा, कुछ देखिएगा, कुछ सुनिएगा, तो आपका दिमाग कुछ वहाँ चर्चा कीजिएगा कि यार मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ, कोई बोलेगा अरे ऐसा कर रहा तो तुम ऐसा इतना मेहनत क्यों कर रहा है, तो ये छोटा सा चीज है। अब आप मेनली अगर सीख जाएंगे तो रेफरेंस मैनेजिंग कुछ भी नहीं है, लेकिन अगर नहीं सीखेंगे तो रेफरेंस मैनेज में 10 दिन से 15 दिन लग जाएंगे, और पूरा, और एक भी अगर ऊपर नीचे हो गया तो पूरा मालूम होगा कि आप जहाँ 5 लिख रहे हैं वो आपका उस सेंसर से रिलेटेड है, और मालूम होगा कि वहाँ 5 नंबर में जो पेपर आपका आ गया वो हार्डवेयर से रिलेटेड दूसरा चीज पेपर आ गया, और एक जहाँ गड़बड़ हो गया, जहाँ सारा का सारा गड़बड़ हो जाएगा। तो ये सब चीज टेक्निक से, कोई भी काम करने का है उसको टेक्निक से करना है, नहीं करना है। वी आर नॉट अ लेबर की भाई दिन भर लगे हुए, और लेबर को चूंकि उसी चीज का पैसा मिलता है। अगर लेबर बैठेगा और थोड़ा देर रिलैक्स करेगा तो सब लोग कहेगा तुम काम नहीं करते हो, कल से मत आना, तुम तो जब देखते हो सोचते ही रहते हो। तो टेक्निक से सब सारे काम करने हैं, तो हमें सारे पेपर को डाउनलोड करने हैं, पेपर को पढ़ने हैं 1 by 1, पढ़ने के बाद जो है उसको एब्स्ट्रैक्ट पढ़ने हैं, फिर उसके बाद जो काम का लगे कि नहीं इसमें है। और हमेशा पेपर जब डाउनलोड कीजिए तो किसी अच्छे जर्नल का कीजिए। अच्छे
Yes.
जर्नल मतलब जो सीआई जर्नल्स जो हैं, या स्कोपस में भी जो अच्छे जर्नल्स हैं,
या साइटेशन भी देखने से हेल्प मिलता है।
उस पेपर का साइटेशन भी देखिएगा, पेपर का साइटेशन कैसा है, क्योंकि तो मैक्सिमम पेपर जो आपके खुलेंगे सब ऑनलाइन जर्नल और पेड जर्नल जिसको बोलते हैं, वो सब जर्नल में कुछ भी लिख देगा, आप भी कुछ भी लिख देंगे, वो सारे के सारे पब्लिश हो जाते हैं। तो उसमें आप देख के आप अपना रिसर्च स्टार्ट करेंगे तो आप कुछ भी नहीं कर पाएंगे। उसने लंबा लंबा वो रिजल्ट दिया है, मालूम है कि रिजल्ट कभी हो ही नहीं सकता है। उसको आप सोचेंगे कि मैं इसको सिमुलेट करूं तो कभी सिमुलेट कर ही नहीं पाएंगे, वो रिजल्ट आएगा नहीं, क्योंकि उससे जब नहीं आया तो आपसे क्या आया, और नहीं आया तो थक हार के लास्ट में कुछ भी उसने लिख दिया और कहीं भी कुछ पैसे दे के पब्लिश कर दिए। तो ऑलवेज स्प्रिंजर हुआ, एल्सवेयर हुआ, वाइली हुआ, टेलर एंड फ्रांसिस हुआ, ये सब जो स्टैंडर्ड्स जर्नल है, पब्लिशर है, उनके पेपर जो है ध्यान दो, उस समय सोचना चाहिए। और ऑलमोस्ट हर पर्टिकुलर एरिया में हर जर्नल में कुछ ना कुछ पेपर, जैसे कि हम लोग पब्लिशर बुक है ना, कि सेम माइक्रो कंट्रोलर का बुक और सेंसर का बुक वाइली भी एक पब्लिश करता है, माइग्रा हिल भी करता है, उसके बाद दूसरा आपका पियर्सन है, उसमें भी एक आध बुक मिल जाएगा। हाँ, सेम पब्लिशर में अगर आप पब्लिश करने जाइएगा कि माइक्रो कंट्रोलर का मैंने एक बुक लिखा कर रहा है, मेरे पास तो माइक्रो कंट्रोलर का ऑलरेडी इस टाइप का बुक तो है, एप्लीकेशन ऑफ माइक्रो कंट्रोल का है ही, लेकिन दूसरे पब्लिशर में जाइएगा तो आपका पब्लिश हो जाता है। तो पेपर में ऐसा होता है कि ये भी देखना है कि उस टाइप का पेपर अगर आप किसी पर्टिकुलर जर्नल से आप लिए हैं और उसमें उस टाइप का पेपर है और सिमिलर टाइप का पेपर आप लिख रहे हैं, तो थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा कि किस जर्नल में ज्यादा सुटेबल है, मतलब किसके पास इस टाइप का कलेक्शन नहीं है।
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Everyone is waiting patiently.
नहीं, अभी नहीं है, जस्ट अभी अभी थोड़ा मतलब डिले होगा, मैं भेज दूंगा और आपको इन्फॉर्म कर दूंगा। उनके 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 व्हाट्सएप में है। एडवांस टेक से कोई आए क्या? हाँ, हेलो। हाँ, आप लोग भी इसमें कुछ सजेशन दीजिए, कोई पार्टिसिपेंट हैं तो। मैंने कुछ बोला और मैडम ने कुछ पूछा, इस पे कुछ सजेशन आप लोग का भी होना चाहिए भाई। Please, any one of our participant, please say something about this research issue. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Please say something.
Yes, sir.
So, any query? Other query? Dr. Dixit will just join in 2 minutes. So always you for research, ma'am, Chandana ma'am.
Yes, sir. I'm here only.
Always you follow this thing. You follow prepare and read abstract and this, and then go to the body, and then found what is inside there, and then always try to find some gaps. What is what we have to do, or what I have to do, because in the particular paper or in this particular work, what he or she has left for me. So that is gap, and then you prepare your objective. कि हमारे gap है, you maybe more than so many gaps. Maybe find if you read the papers carefully, you find 10 or 20 gaps. But out of them, only 4 or 5 is your objective. Not all are objective. Assume that each and every objective have one chapter. So 4 or 5 objectives are sufficient for a PhD work.
Okay, sir.
It's almost each and every objective becomes a chapter in your thesis, and it also become a paper.
Okay.
It become a paper. Maybe you may publish at least from each chapters, there may be a paper. Sometimes so many papers from a single chapter, if you change some parameters and publish other paper, you may change some parameters. So which objective is your strong objective? If you have a strong objective or fulfill any of the particular demand of that objective, then you publish more than one paper, 3, 4, up to 3 or 4 papers from the same objective.
Yeah.
Sir, I think Arvind sir is here.
Okay. So welcome them.
Okay, sir.
Welcome Arvind sir.
Arvind Dixit sir.
Biological neurons are artificial sensors.
his name Arvind Dikshit. Where is
Sir, I think
Sir?
his name is appearing as Arvind K. Arvind K.
No, no. Sir, Arvind sir is here. No.
Sir, sir, you are not audible.
No. I think he is different. In Arvind, no, he is not Arvind. He is telling he is not Arvind Dikshit. हाँ सर अच्छा अरविंद के आप ही हमको लगा रहे सर आप भी हाँ प्लीज क्या कहते हैं चंदन
Yes, sir. Tell, sir.
First introduce him. He is Arvind K. I don't understand. Just recognize him.
Okay, sir. Actually, his photo, in his photo, he is clean shaved, and right now he is having beard. That's why. Okay. No problem, sir. I will be introducing him. Okay. Okay. So.
No, he is not there.
He's out of the group now.
Okay.
He arrived, sir.
Yes.
He is in the group.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. We are again back in our forum. So we will be heading with our last session of the FDP program, that is on sensor technology. And we are having Mr. Arvind Dikshit, Director and CEO of Advanced Tech Private Limited with us. So I wholeheartedly welcome him to this forum. So good evening, sir. Sir, we are very much blessed to have you among us. So just we will be proceeding with the introduction. Mr. Arvind Dikshit completed his BTech in electronics engineering. He is having 18 years of experience into core electronic designing and development domain. He is right now the CEO and Director of Advanced Tech Private Limited and handles 3 different other firms also. He is the first generation entrepreneur with electronics background and active member of various business forums such as CII, FICCI. The company profile which are handled by Mr. Dikshit deals in various industrial projects for Indian Railways, DRDO, especially defense related electronics, and his company is also having foreign partners with UK, US, China, and Taiwan. So with this, I would request Mr. Arvind Dikshit sir to proceed with his presentation. Jayendra sir, if you can ask Dikshit sir to please unmute himself.
सुन रहा हूँ ना हाँ
Yes.
Hello.
Okay sir, you are audible sir.
आवाज आ रहा है?
हाँ सर, आवाज आ रही है सर.
Hello.
आवाज आ रही है सर. You please proceed sir.
हाँ. Am I audible properly?
Yes sir, you are audible sir. You are audible sir. Please proceed sir.
आपको हमारा आवाज आ रहा है?
हाँ सर, आपका आवाज आ रही है सर.
First of all, I'm thankful to organizer Mr. JK sir and other people who are into this committee who has organized this and has invited me as a speaker on sensor technology. Because of my hectic schedule, I missed the inaugural session, but I'm trying to share my experience into sensors. So as far as the topic of the FDP is concerned, this is known as sensor technology and applications. So my company and especially me have been working in this domain from a long time, where we are using various kind of sensors which are being used in various applications. So what was the content of the, what was the schedule of the workshop, but as far as sensors are very good into signal conditioning. So important part is not only identifying the sensor, but also to see what kind of output we are expecting and how to choose a sensor. Very important aspect is about choosing the sensor. So this choosing the sensor consists of different applications. What is my application? What is my budget? What are my interfaces? And how do I choose my sensor? Okay, what classification and clarifications I need to identify before finalizing a sensor. For example, we say temperature sensor. So there are hundreds varieties of temperature sensors. So as a user or as a developer, we need to identify, okay, what is my temperature range? What is my accuracy? What is my area of application? What is the expected output we expect? What is the cost of the sensor? So there are various selection tables which we need to identify before selecting a sensor. So these are equally important parts. Sensors is sometimes different technologies. There is a contact-based sensors, there are non-contact-based sensors, there are infrared sensors, there are electrochemical sensors. So sensor technology is various domain-based. So as a user, as a faculty, as a researcher, it is very important to identify the working domain of the sensor, what type of technology the sensor is having, and what is my requirement. For example, if I'm using a sensor to measure my ambient temperature, so those ambient temperature sensors are different. If I want to measure a temperature range 0 to -20 or -30, I have to choose the sensor separately. If I'm using a 0 to plus 100 degrees, there's a difference. If I'm using a 100 to 500 degrees centigrade, my sensor will be different. They depend upon what is the class of accuracy we are expecting out of sensor. There are different accuracy there. Accuracy depends upon the area of application also. So we need to identify, okay, what is identification. So once you have identified the sensor, so most of the sensors gives you either millivolt, or we need to see the distance between the sensor to the data acquisition. What is the sensor distance you are looking for? Are you looking for 1 meter, or you are looking for a few centimeters, or you're looking for other measurement techniques, like if it has to be inserted into a liquid, or it needs to be taking an ambient temperature or body temperature, what kind of application of that sensor could be. Second, so these are the 2 points which I said. First is the classification of the sensor. What type of sensors we are going to use it, how we are going to apply this sensor, where this is to be applied, what kind of output it says. It says mostly sensors will give you output, but my analog to digital converter does not read it in millivolts. It needs to be converted into some format where it is readable. In some format means it has to be either in 0 to 5 voltage range, because analog to digital converter understands only voltage signal. So we need to see, okay, am I able to translate my sensor's output into the corresponding voltage range? So I need to put a sensor, I need to put a signal conditioner on this sensor. So once the signal conditioner is designed, so it depends upon what type of expected output I want to have. I have a millivolt to voltage converter, or I want millivolt to 420 milli converter, or I want millivolt to serial or digital converter, Modbus converter. So there are 100 different types of converter technologies which defines, okay, what type of signal conditioner I need to design, procure, or customize. So based on these things, you can identify, okay, this signal conditioner is suitable for this application. For example, with advancements into the technology, lot of sensor suppliers provide the sensor along with signal conditioner and expected output. What you need to do, you need to just I want 4 to 20 ampere output, and I want to have a measurement range of 0 say minus 20, and I want this range of accuracy. So there are a lot of customized ICs which gives you this kind of output. So once you have got your expected level of signal conditioned output, you need to say, okay, now it is an important part in signal conditioner. Important part is data acquisition. How I am going to acquire my data? At what is my sampling rate? How my analog data will be converted into digital data, or if my sensor is giving me digital data, how I'm going to read the digital data and store it into the memory. For example, barometric pressure sensors are there, atmospheric sensors are there, water quality sensors are there, air quality sensors are there, biomedical sensors are there, automobile sensors are there. So every sensor has got similar kind of applications. So there are MEMS kind of sensors. So this field is itself such a vast field, and if you do not have the right selection table, if you do not understand your requirement thoroughly, it will be very difficult for you to have the right measurement. At the end of the day, the whole exercise for sensor is about accurate measurement. If my system is not able to measure it accurately, no matter, because I'm not going to get the right data. So at the end of the thing is measurement accuracy and right measurement quantity. So these are the two important parts. If you make a mistake anywhere in the cycle, whether it is wrong sensor selection, whether it is wrong signal conditioner, whether it is wrong sampling rate, whether it is wrong interpretation of analog values to digital values, we will not get the right data. So the entire cycle has to be very clean, clear, carefully chosen. Then only you can measure the right signal. For example, in your human body, what are the different sensors being used? You have a blood pressure sensor, you have a SpO2 sensor, you have a blood sugar sensor, you have an ECG sensor, you have EEG sensor, or there are 100 types of biomedical sensors. So if your sensor is not properly read out, it will give you wrong reading, and wrong reading could be quite hazardous. So very important is the sensor selection part. And with my experience of so many years, I have seen people do a lot of mistakes in selecting the sensors, because sometimes there is a low-cost sensor which will have low sensitivity, but there are other advanced sensors which are especially designed for a specific application. So if you choose a specific designed application, I'm sure that you will find it valuable to understand, okay, how this sensor technology works. Now there are different parts as far as academics and faculty is concerned. People will start thinking of, sir, how should I design a sensor? Number one. Other person requirement will be how to find a new sensor for this application. So as far as fabrication of sensors are concerned, there are some sensors which can be fabricated using a metallic technology, but there are other sensors which are infrared, optic sensors, or electrochemical sensors, which are hard to calibrate and hard to design. So depend what is your application, which area you want to work upon. So these kind of suggestions can help you into identifying the right sensor, right signal conditioner, and more important, since the world is moving into the digital technology, so every sensor is also converted so that it can give you directly digital reading. For example, you can have a sensor which can give you data on RS-232 serial port, or it can give you data on RS-485, or it can give you data on Modbus, or it can give you data on TCP/IP. But again, the string of data which you are going to get need to be converted properly into the into your data acquisition format. So this was the whole crux of sensor technology. Unfortunately, I have a very tight schedule all the time, so I'm not able to share my presentation, but I will share my presentation to the organizers. They can share a copy with the faculty people or the participants. Maybe you can go through that. Maybe in case you come across any question or any query, maybe you can write an email. Maybe we can get back to you. You can also see our website. You can also see our website, and a lot of sensors are available on that also. Maybe you can utilize that kind of infrastructure to build your requirement list, and we can go ahead. So the topic is really very interesting, but doing it online and doing it in a fast-forward method, I think sometimes I'm not able to translate the way I want to translate the presentation. But anyway, if you need any support, maybe you can have my number or my email ID from the organizers, and you can drop me an email. Maybe I can reply you that email more in detail. So this is what I can present to you. And equal part is your data acquisition. So even if you buy a Mercedes, but your tires are not of good quality, it doesn't matter which engine you are running on. So very important thing is all the items should be of good quality, properly aligned with each other. Then only you can expect a great output. Otherwise, buying a good quality sensor and poor data acquisition is going to be poor only. Or a poor quality sensor and good quality data acquisition is again a poor thing. So it has to be properly chosen technology and properly chosen acquisition method, understanding the requirement. So these are very important issues as far as sensor selection is concerned. And believe me, the future is huge for people who are working in sensor technology, because for any automation, whether it is IoT or Industry 4.0 or anything, all depends upon data, and the data depends on your sensor output. So if you want to make a great career out of this, maybe your sensor selection and the whole cycle has to be very important. JK Saab, I will, whatever I had to share, I have already shared him. And in case any of your participants have a question to me, maybe they can drop a small email to me or they can call me. Maybe I will be able to reply them properly. With these words, I would like to stop my presentation on sensor technology. But being into the industry, being done a huge number of projects, I have a good amount of experience.
दीक्षित सर,
Yes, sir.
सर कुछ और बताइए. बहुत लोग आपसे बहुत देर से आपके लिए एकदम परेशान थे सर. मैंने 5 बजे कर दिया, बाकी फंक्शन जो है ना 5 o'clock कर दिया, 5 PM.
ठीक है सर, ठीक है. मैं आपके क्वेश्चंस को, मैं आपको एक ईमेल शेयर, मैं आपके एक ईमेल शेयर करूंगा, which will be as informative as the presentation. Maybe you can circulate it with your participants, and in case they come across any query, maybe they can drop me an email or a WhatsApp. Maybe I can definitely reply them.
चैट बॉक्स में लिख दीजिए ना सर.
हाँ, मैं चैट बॉक्स में लिख देता हूँ इसको. और
अभी हमारे पास 25 मिनट 25 मिनट्स और हैं. उसके बाद डायरेक्टर साहब आएंगे. तो हाँ, जो भी जिनको क्वेरी है, किसी टाइप का आपका प्रॉब्लम है रिसर्च ओरिएंटेड,
रख दो. मैंने तुमको वो फीडबैक लिंक भेजी है, वो भर दो. और सेशन जो है वो क्विज बाद में आएगा, मतलब 5 बजे.
श्रीलता मैम म्यूट.
मैंने कर दिया, कोई बात नहीं. तो आप लोग जो भी है, आपके पास 25 मिनट्स का टाइम है अपने पास. सो जो भी आपको क्वेरी है अपने रिसर्च से रिलेटेड, आप इनसे पूछ सकते हैं. क्योंकि काफी इस मामले में, जैसा पहले ही बता चुका हूं आप लोगों की, इनका अपना फॉर्म है और काफी सेंसर डेवलपमेंट और IoT सॉल्यूशंस में इनका काफी अच्छा काम है, काफी अच्छा कंट्रीब्यूशन है. काफी अच्छे इनके लैब इन्होंने काफी IIT और NIT में भी डेवलप किए हैं. So आपके पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम में का क्या सॉल्यूशन होगा, कौन सा इक्विपमेंट सही होगा, क्या करना चाहिए, ये बता सकते हैं. So please.
Sir, Arvind sir, I'm audible?
हाँ जी बोलिए.
Yes sir. Sir, actually, we are focusing one particular applications where we are recording the data. Means we need to record the data with very high speed. And that data means that sensor we are capturing from the camera. Okay, and we need to differentiate the two images. Suppose I'm taking the images from the top side, and suppose 2 meter or 2 meter or more than 2 meter area images I have captured, and within that 2 or 4 meter, suppose 2 meter having the different platform, means suppose I can take one crop. Okay, means the crop image of 10 meter. 5 meter having the good crop range, and they don't having the flatten, means that particular is a good, and 5 meter is not a good. How I can differentiate that two by taking the image? Is any sensors is useful here, or same with the camera image make analysis is good, sir?
As I shared, there are different equipment for different applications. As far as crop imaging is concerned or agriculture imaging is concerned, there are different cameras which are specifically designed for this kind of application. So I request you to kindly search cameras with this kind of requirement, and based on this requirement, you can all technologies depend upon camera imaging technologies definitely depend from trained image to a new image. So if you have a good quality crop at a different length, you can have that image and you can make that as a master image. And whatever the real-time data is coming, if it is getting compared, maybe you can find okay, what kind of variation in data, and accordingly your technical equipment equipment can identify, okay, what is the health of the plant or the crop beyond or below a level, below the level of the their good quality is coming. So there are different special cameras are coming, which are known as a lot of drone-based imaging is being done, which allows the customer to take a health quality of a crop or a plant to be identified.
Okay. Are you suggesting any name, sir? Actually, I have gone through all that. I means the cost of that camera is very high. Are you suggesting any camera that you have already used in any application?
We use pattern with the images, but this I do not have the exact manufacturer or the part number. Maybe you can drop me an email. I can ask my technical team to reply if they have any information on that.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you.
So any other call, any query? Please go ahead. Do not hesitate. You want to do something, or you want to do some sensor related or IoT related labs, want to set up these things. So you ask him the solution for the same. Because IoT are related to sensors, and sensors are always related to IoT. Both terms are. So if you do any work in a lab in IoT lab, then always sensor are the primary elements of that lab.
So good evening, sir. Yeah, my name is Udaini. Sir, I had a question regarding animal detection in forests. So is there any particular camera that you can suggest? Because right now, as I understand, the accuracy is very little for a moving animal. So is there any sensor or any camera that you can suggest?
Yes. This is all With some signal distortion, I think so. Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
So there are special cameras which is used for forest research institutes or something. Maybe, but I don't have detailed information about the type of cameras. But yes, the equipments are available, which are battery based, with a camera, with a memory built in inside. So if they find any such kind of image, maybe they can trigger a alert. And once the alert has been designed, maybe you can record the data and then you can cut it down. All those kinds of discovery cameras are designed with this kind of technology. They are available, but as such, I have never used them, but they are available. Hello.
Hello. Arvind sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, can you focus on some data acquisition part? How actually made data storage and data acquisition?
Data acquisition is a very, very wide. Data acquisition is a very vast field. But hello.
Are you audible, sir? You're audible.
Data acquisition is a very vast field. It covers a huge range of products. But as far as the kind of business which we design portable wireless data loggers. So data logging consists of very important part, number of channels, how many channels you have, what is the acquisition speed you want to convert and log data into digital data, what is your memory size, how big of the data you want to store. Then second thing is, once the stored data is there, how you want to process the data. So data logger or data acquisition's job is just to acquire the data, store it, and then push the data to the computer-based software. The computer-based software take the data and then they utilize it in a shape or in a way where they can interpret the data. For example, we are manufacturing air quality monitoring system. So air quality monitoring system consists of various sensors like particle matter rate, PM 2.5, PM 10.0, SO2, NO2, CO2, ozone. So there are different sensors. Every sensor will give some data, like what is the percentage of SO2 in environment, what is the percentage of NO2, what is the size of PM 2.5 and 10. So all these data is acquired at one place. And then based on this whole information, some mathematical formulas are defined which identifies the air quality, whether it is good, better, worse, poor, hazardous. So then the data is classified. So as far as data logger is concerned, its job is primarily to interface with the sensor, convert the data into meaningful format, and then the further analysis needs to be done by using proper algorithms. And this is all about data acquisition.
So that is what I want to know. We're talking about data acquisition. Then data mining is come into picture. How actually that sensor data?
Once you have the good amount of data in your Excel format or in any database format, there you can apply artificial intelligence, machine learning, or any other thing. But very important is if the data is right or wrong. Or the second thing is how big the data. The more the data size will be, the more the application will be. So important is how big your data is. 1 साल का, 2 साल का, 3 साल का, 1 महीने का, उससे क्या एप्लीकेशन करना चाहते हैं वो डिपेंड करता है.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello.
ठीक है?
Hello. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
Excuse me. If there is any sensor available or detection and forecasting of low level in case of a flood situation, considering the river water level and the surrounding ground level, forecast which area will be affected more.
Again, as I shared, water level you can measure, flow of water you can measure, but depends on water level. If water level is continuously rising, and if it is continuously rising, at what rate the water level is rising. and why this water level is rising. Is it because of heavy rainfall, or is it because of the heavy flow of water? Then there are some alert conditions need to be designed. So very important is you need to see, okay, the rate of transition, at what rate this factor is changing. So then you can program it out. Okay, the impact of this excessive flow of water will be ये बाकी की जगह को काट देगा, or the flow of water will be increasing. So this will, if this flows at this particular rate, this will reach to this many distances, and based on that you can alert people, or you can make a judgment. Okay, this is going to have that much impact.
Can it be used for flood monitoring?
Of course, all kinds of flood monitorings are based on these kind of sensors only, which measures the flow of water in river, which measures the amount of rainfall, which measures the amount of what is the rate of rainfall. Is it raining heavily, or is it raining slowly, or it is flowing very high, or it is very low? At how many? If this flows at these many hours, the impact will be this much. So this is known for flood monitoring, or many other things. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Arvind sir, you're audible. Sir, I had one more query about that. Can I ask? Hello, Arvind sir. Hello.
Hello. So Dikshit is out of network. Mr. Arvind Dikshit, are you here? Arvind Dikshit, sir?
No, sir, he left the meeting.
Mobile मोबाइल में ही परेशानी है, मोबाइल में किसी का फोन होता है आदमी मीटिंग से आउट हो जाता है। Advantage about mobile is to receive the call.